Monday with no sound. That is no good. I must have hit a button just wrong. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? With me and my mustache. It's Mustache Monday here at the Comfiness of Grace. I think you can hear me now. I hope you can hear me now. Somebody say so in the comments. I'm here for the New Beginnings page hop. So Molly says you're talking to yourself. Molly, thanks for letting me know I'm talking to myself with a silly mustache on. Oh my goodness. Now here come I can hear you now, Grace. I just must have pressed the wrong button. So I always tell you when it's a one girl show and you do the creative stuff, you create the content, you do the setup, you do the lighting, you do the sound. Sometimes things go awry. Molly says, woohoo, she's back. Oh, woohoo. Yep, I can hear you now. Oh my goodness. So there's Michelle, my sweet friend Michelle from the Vintage Daisy, who is hosting today's event. It is the New Beginnings event. I held up the little brochure and I'm going to show it to you closely because look at all the creatives. This event's going on. Gosh, Cheryl is the last creative to be sharing with you today on this whole theme of new beginnings. It's hard to be serious with this thing on. And she is creating at 3 p.m. Eastern. So I post my things in Central, but Michelle is in New Hampshire. So her things, she usually posts Eastern Standard Time. So don't let the time zones mess you up. The brochure is in Eastern. So Cheryl is on last at 3 p.m. Eastern. And we have a really fun lineup for you. So thank you, Miss Michelle, for inviting me. Now, Mustache Monday, let me just explain real quick. I said a few minutes ago, I could call this Mustache Monday because it's Monday. So welcome to Monday. Welcome to one of our first Mondays in 2024. And Mustache Monday, this thing actually really hurts when it comes off, was born a couple of weeks ago. I was clearing the clutter and I found that sticker, this little sticker, and I was like, what the heck? Why do I have this sticker? And what am I going to do with it? So I stuck it on, and the girls in the comments laughed and laughed. We had more fun with this flippin' little mustache. So I said, I'm going to make Mustache Monday a thing. And I ordered me some mustaches. It's actually a really big bag of mustaches, so I could think of them as disposable. But it kind of hurts getting it on and off. So when you see Grace here at the Comfy Nest with Grace, and it's Monday and I got a mustache on, it's because I said a minute ago, if my mustache brings you a little joy and makes you freaking laugh, I'm willing to sacrifice myself for the sake of your laughter and joy. Because I'm all about having fun while we create. I'm all about it. New beginnings for the new year. You're still laughing, Leslie says. We're still laughing. Yes. Oh, there's Lindy. You guys, there's Lindy. She's here. So Taterbuggin is up after me. I'm sure Lindy will not wear a mustache. I'm guessing she won't, but I'm sure it'll be so much fun. She's incredibly creative, so sweet. She's up after me. So today is a page hop. So unlike a lot of you guys, I have to take it off because it's really hard to be serious with that on. Maybe I'll put it on in a minute. Unlike a lot of other events that you see where it's all shared into one group and you have to get access into the group before you can see everything all in one place. We're doing a page hop. So after I'm live, I have 1 hour with you guys. I'm going to create a new type of book. I hope it inspires you to make one for yourself. It's really, really simple, you guys. And I'm making it out of junk because I'm a junk journaler. After I make my book, you're going to hop on over to Taterbuggin. That's the name of the business page. And it's Lindy. I got her business name up on the screen so you can, and we'll share her link in the comments at the end of this so that you can find her very easily. Okay. Got me in the junk journal jamboree. Oh, somebody put me in the junk journal jamboree, Molly. Thank you to whoever shared me over there. Oh my gosh. So funny. So funny. Mustache Monday. Yes. Well, Michelle says, I'm so happy you're doing this with me today. I'm honored and thrilled you invited me. I really am. So let me share. Let me get my table up big. Hold on. How do we do this here? Let's not press any of the wrong buttons. Okay. This is today, the New Beginnings page hop. And so it's me and then Taterbuggin. These are the business pages, the Vintage Daisy, Marley Grace Creations, Simply Flamazing Art, and then sorry, Cheryl, I don't know what happened with my printer, but you got cut off a little bit. Mama Peace, Crafty Creations. Okay. What if you're here for all of it, what we're going to be doing each hour is we'll be giving you the link to the next person before the live ends so that you can easily find the next person. Okay, I'm working with the junk journal. I'm going to make a junk journal. It's very, very simple. This one, the theme is new beginnings. And so I'll talk you through the purpose of this book for me. I do make a lot of books, and sometimes I make them to sell in my live auctions or in my store at thecomfinesswithgrace.com. But this book today is for me. This is a toothbrush. I ordered a toothbrush in the mail from Burst. I got some stuff in the mail from them. So this is the envelope, right? And it has really cool ridges on it. So I know that what's inside is pretty freaking awesome. Look at that texture. Are you kidding me? I absolutely love using junk envelopes to make book covers. Anybody else out there a fan of doing that? Can you please? Cheryl says, I love that you still have the mustache. You are hilarious. Listen, Cheryl, girlfriend, I am all about, look at that's an extreme close-up. I am all about bringing some joy. Life is too freaking hard, you guys. It's too hard. And sometimes us girls, girls just want to have some fun. So yes, I still have the mustache. It's here. I will put it on and off for your entertainment and pleasure. Okay, Leslie loves junk journal envelopes. So this same envelope, I was thrilled. I was cleaning out some stuff in my laundry room. I have no idea why it was there, but I found this in my laundry room, and it's the same gorgeous texture on the inside. I just made last week, I made this cover. It's the same exact envelope from Burst. I made this cover, junk journal cover, last week on my YouTube channel. I think I did it. I don't remember, somewhere here. I made this junk journal that's in the works. But today's, and that one will probably sell. I'll probably sell that journal. Today's journal is for me. This one is for me, and you'll see why. So for the inside pages, I want to use this as a, okay, I need to look at you. I need a little eye contact for this. So what I want to do, I'm talking about new beginnings. I have a ratty old notebook that was one of my kids' notebooks from elementary school. It's just a lined notebook. You know what I'm talking about? Like, just, they have colored fronts and it's all wide ruled lined notebook paper on the inside. My kids, every year we get, well, especially in the elementary, middle school, you get a list from the teacher. These are the things that they need. And it would be a gazillion of those notebooks, and they would use half of it. And then I would say, don't throw the notebook out. There's a lot of good paper in there. So we put it in a cupboard in my office. So if anybody ever needs notebook paper or just a notebook to take notes, they can grab one of those notebooks. So I grabbed one of those. It's an old ratty notebook that used to be my son's. And I've been writing down, now this time of year, I listen to a lot of motivational podcasts, or you tell me if you've seen them, a lot of like motivational posts, like decorative posts with just a quote on it. Have you seen some? New year, new beginnings. There's usually a lot of motivational stuff out there. And what I realized is that I scroll a lot on social media, and tell me if you do this too. I scroll a lot on social media, but every once in a while, one makes me seriously stop. I go, whoa, like, yes, like, whoa, that hit me, or yes, that's what I want, and lately, a lot of them are about simplifying my life, simplifying life, like living a clutter-free, simple life, spending time with the people you love, and just like letting go of all the clutter in your life. So lately, the things that are resonating with me, I stop the scroll, and sometimes I take a picture of it with my phone. Do you do that? Like, you see something that strikes you, a photo, an image, a quote, and I always take a photo of it with my phone, because it's like, oh, I want to remember that. I want to share that with my husband. I want to share that with my son, and I want to remember it for later. So I take a picture of it. But then it gets lost in the scroll of all the other pictures that I've taken and all the other videos. Oh, Michelle's saying I do this all the time. Anybody else do this where you take, you're taking, yep, Cheryl says she's doing it all the time. Yeah, Lisa, right? Give me a hey ho, girls, those of us who do that. This book is going to be my inspiration motivation book. It's going to be really simple to make. I took paper from these 3 pads of paper. Toned gray. These are all mixed media pads that you can get at Michael's or Hobby Lobby, or I get them off Amazon because I don't have any of those stores near me. But I have black drawing paper, toned gray paper, toned tan paper. They're just 3 mixed media pads, 9 by 12. And I took out one of each of those pieces of paper, stacked them on top of each other, and cut them in half. That's all I did. What? I gotta adjust myself because I just changed my whole juxtaposition of my table. So I just cut them in half. So this is a 9x12 paper that I cut in half. Okay. So now I have 2 of each, and look at these beautiful colors. They're very, very simple. We're talking simplified. They're very muted. They're gorgeous colors, but they're very neutral and warm. So I'm going to take these, and these are going to become the pages of this journal. I'm going to cut this envelope down, and we're going to make a little book out of this. So when you get a really cool junk envelope, you know, you order something and it comes in one of these envelopes that have a really cool inside that's padded, save them. I'm going to show you how you can transform it into a book. Okay. So first thing I'm going to do, well, I need to get these folded. I'm super visual. I don't do a whole lot of measuring because I don't like numbers. I don't like measurements. So I generally just kind of use the papers that I'm using inside my book to measure what the book cover needs to be. So I'm going to quickly fold these, and I want them in the same order. So I guess it's going to be black, gray, tan. Black, gray, tan. I don't normally do this, but for the sake of time, since I lost a few minutes there in the front with my volume debacle. That happens sometimes. You can't know how challenging it is to create live in front of people. And when you have a mess up like that, and to do it in a timely way, so I can be respectful. Lindy's up next, and I don't want you to miss a second of hers. So I want to be done in time. Okay, so I could either do 2 signatures. I think I'm going to do 1. Well, let's see. I think I'm going to do 1 signature. A signature in a junk journal or any kind of book that you're creating for bookmakers is simply a stack of papers. This would be considered 1 signature. You could make as many signatures. So I would sew these all into the book cover, all in 1 piece. So that's 1 signature, but you don't have to do it that way. You could have 2 signatures and sew 2 separate piles into your book. I'm going to do 1 just for the sake of time and energy. And I am going to use these pages to put my motivational quotes and inspirations on these pages. For me, this is just something personal for me, a way of journaling that's not a written journal. It's more like a crossbreed of an art journal, motivational journal, prayer journal, written journal. It's a hybrid. I encourage you to do the same thing. You make your journals whatever you want them to be. They don't have to follow a rule. Okay, they don't have to follow a rule. This is all I need of this book cover. That's how much space I need. I need to cover this. So I'm going to, with a pencil, I'm going to make a mark, and I'm going to say, I like my books to be just a tad bigger, my book covers, than the pages, because I like things super bulky usually, and I add a lot of bulk. So I'm going to cut off that, and I'm going to cut off that. That should give me the center piece that's most neat and orderly, as opposed to the top and bottom that has all these, you know, ragged pieces to it. This is going to go in the garbage. So, or actually, man, I could save that for another project, because it's, when you're a mixed media person and you love to combine like fabrics and papers and all the things, we tend to be texture lovers. So I'll probably actually keep that. Okay, now I need to cut it here, right here, where I have my little mark. See if I can do this way. And this should be big enough to hold those pages. This is super simple, you guys. And in my Craft Therapy Club, that's my paid membership group, one of our members, Ruth, what were we talking about, girls? Those of you who are Craft Therapy Club members, what were we talking about the other day? And Ruth came up with her slogan. Were we talking about like our quote for the year and what we want to do? And she said for her creative life, she wants to use, my blade isn't getting down all the way through there. I might need a new blade, girls. She wants to use the slogan, and I think the whole group of us have adopted this, of use more in 2024. That's the Craft Therapy Club slogan for the year. I am a huge advocate of using what you already have on hand and not buying more supplies if you don't need to. So that's what we do. In fact, we're doing a mixed media project this month. It's a girl with a napkin dress, and we're making her dress out of napkins. I'm probably going to do mine on canvas so I can hang it on the wall. So I just need to figure out now how much of this do I need to cut off. And I'm going to probably cut off a little more than I need because I know I can always cut it down further. Okay, I'm going to try to do the same thing. I know I'm not getting through all of it, but I'm going to get through one. I'm going to pull this up and then I'll get through the other. So use more in 2024. I'm a huge advocate of using what you already have on hand. Do not go out and buy new things if you don't need to. And if you got junk mail coming in, you got enough stuff probably between your junk mail, your fabric, and paper scraps to create something pretty. And that's what we're all about here at the Comfy Nest with Grace. Yes, we were talking about the word of the year. There's Ruth. There she is. Used more in 2024, right? We were talking about clearing the clutter and having a theme for our year and using more stuff, the stuff we already have. And that can include your junk mail because we can make really beautiful books out of junk mail. This is going to be my cover. Now, when I did this the other day, I created that other cover. I cut off this part right here of the envelope. Is like, it has no corrugation to it and it's thin. I'm going to actually use that as part of the decorative part of this book. So I have to sew this in around that, which I've never had to do that before. So this should be interesting. I'm going to do 3 holes because it's a pretty short book. I think it's, is it 6 inches tall? No, wait, hold on, girls. Where's my ruler? Oh, I took it out and let's see. Yeah, it's 6 inches tall. So I'm going to do 3 holes. I'm an eyeballer. I eyeball things. I'm going to get a couple of clips to help me out here. But I generally eyeball things. I'm not big into, because it stresses me out and it takes all the fun out of creating. If I have to start, you start making me use fractions and decimal points and figure things out that way, I am going to be a balled up mess of stress. And then it's not going to be fun anymore for me to create. So don't do that. If that makes you stressed out, then don't do it. I'm a huge encourager for doing what makes you happy because our creative life should be happy and fun and relaxing, not stressful. Okay, so I have my little bin full of sewing supplies here. So I have some darning needles, tapestry needles. I've got my big, well, it's not really big, my awl, which is for punching your holes in your books. And I've got some waxed thread. I'm going to hide the binding on this book, so you're not even going to see it on the outside. So I'm going to go ahead and punch my holes. The clips help the pages stay in place. I'm going to attempt, never done this before, to punch the holes through the front. I want the holes to kind of land right here because this whole flap is sewed together. I can't get through that flap. It's too skinny. I won't get through it. So we're just going to poke the holes. I'm going about the middle. I'm not, oh, it's perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. I'm working with the envelope that I have. Okay. I'm just working with what I have. And I need to make 3 holes, one close to the top, one close to the bottom, and one in the middle to hold these pages together. Oh my gosh, it worked out perfectly on all 3 of them. Can you see my little awl through there? We're going to sew it together and then we're going to pretty it up. And these plain pages on the inside, it's going to be where I am going to collect my quotes for the year. The inspirational quotes that I've been snapshotting, taking pictures of, I'm going to start either printing them and gluing them down in this book, or I'm going to write them down. And I think there's plenty of pages there for me to include a bunch of those. I think you could always make your book. The beauty of making your own notebook is you get to decide how big it is. You get to decide how many pages are in it, how you decorate it. It's all up to you. All right, I got to check some comments. Oh, Ruth says, I enjoy your instructions. They're very positive and fun to watch. Yay, that's the whole point. Ruth, that's what I'm doing here. I love it. Thank you for saying that. Thank you for sharing. It makes me so happy. And it makes me so happy to hear that from you, because that's my whole point. That's the whole reason I do what I do, is to encourage you guys to create more often with joy and to let go. I will tell you, you'll hear me say often, let go of the idea that these things have to be perfect. Actually, I'm going to take that off so I can find my hole in my signature here. It's there. I just got to find it. Create more often with joy. Create more often without needing to be perfect. I always remind us, even me, I'm not going to get awards here. I'm not looking to earn some awards, or it's not going to go in an art gallery. There's nothing formal about what I'm doing here. I am purely creating for two reasons. First, for myself, like for my own joy and satisfaction. I find a lot of like relaxation from creating. Creating makes me really relaxed. It gets my mind off all like the bills and the health problems that we have at my household and all the difficulties of life. It helps me forget that for a while and just make pretty things, which makes my heart happy. And I want the same for you. So I will always encourage you to let go of your idea of things being perfect. Let go of, I don't know how, I've never done this before. It doesn't matter. None of that matters. Just have fun with your creations. I don't know how to sew things into a signature. I don't know how to sew things into the book. Just try to follow along with what we show you. Take a class. I do offer a workshop, Make a Junk Journal Start to Finish, where we make a junk journal out of a cereal box. And I encourage you very strongly to use the things that you already have on hand in your home. So there's a whole video just about gathering supplies. Take a workshop or just follow along with one of our public videos and do the best you can. But don't let the fact that you've never done it hold you back from doing it if it looks exciting and fun to you. If this is something you think you're going to enjoy. Sometimes when I do my cut of my string, I like the little bow on the inside. It's dainty and pretty. It makes me happy. So there's my book, right? Easy breezy. I just created a little book with all these cool colored pages that I can write in, glue inspirational, like if I see a magazine picture that I love or a quote from a magazine or in a magazine or in a prayer book, I can glue them in, I can write them in, I can sketch them in, whatever I want. It was that easy to make a book. That easy. Hey, is Royce here? Hello, Royce. I see somebody saying hello to Royce. There's Mara. Look at all my creative friends who are here. Thanks for being here, ladies. Debbie says that's my problem, to be perfect, right? It's a head game we play with ourselves. And it's about time we all get over it. Seriously, Debbie, no, I'm giving you a little tough love there. It's because I love you. It's because I want you to get as much joy out of your creative time and with your creative supplies, using more of what you have in 2024. Use more of it without worrying about that, like without it needing to be something that you deem perfect. Create it just for the sake of creating it, for the fun of it. Okay, so see, I have a little bit of extra space here and here. That's how I prefer my books to be. I like there to be this extra space. I feel like on the right and left, it's a little bit long on this side. So I think I'm going to cut a little bit of that off. And look, I'm not even going to use a rotary cutter. I'm going to cut one little section because there's all these ridges. So I'm just going to let the ridges determine what I'm cutting off. I'm going to cut one section off each side. And it doesn't need to be perfect. It's not going on a bookshelf in a library. It's not going to Barnes and Noble. It is for me, for my pure enjoyment. Now, we got to make the cover pretty because I'm all about pretty things. I'm so happy you guys are all chatting in the comments. I love seeing that so much. So thank you for being here in the comments. Thank you for saying hello. I have a little ticker for the bottom of the screen. Oh, here it is. This one right here. That says, please let me know that you're here. Say hello in the comments. Join in the conversation. Be part of the Crafty Chicks community. We welcome you if you're the first time here. If you've been watching for a long time and you don't usually say hello, we would love to hear from you. And thank you to all of those of you who are actively chatting. Create for the sake of creating. That's it. That is it. The joy that it brings my heart to just sit down, get away from the dishes and the laundry and the bills and the medical things that, like I said, we have a lot of medical, sometimes difficulties in our family. And it's just fun to sit down at my table and take an envelope that I got in the mail. I didn't pay anything for it. If I screw it up, big deal. I've learned something new. I'm just going to create this and decorate it up for the sake of having fun. Okay. Remember, use more in 2024. Thank you, Ruth, for bringing us that theme for the Craft Therapy Club. I'm sharing it with everybody today. I'm going to use some of the pages from, this is my phone book, and this is an old novel, like one of those Harlequin novels. It's actually a Nora Roberts novel. Sorry, Nora Roberts. I'm sorry, but that's what it is. And I've been encouraging you guys, use up what you got, your paper scraps. What to do with all the paper scraps. This is what I've been doing with my paper scraps. I took our Look at you guys, 2019-20 telephone book. We get two actually in the mail. 2 telephone books every year. I keep them for the year. We hardly ever use them, but I keep them for the year. And then it's like, I hate to just throw it out. So I have been using these pages to put my paper scraps in. So rather than putting the paper scraps in a bin, I've been putting them on these pages. And this is the epitome of tired crafting. Tired crafting. It is, I just came up with that phrase this weekend for myself because I've been in a flare-up for my chronic pain this past week. It's been a very, very tough week. I was an absolute mess this week, both physically and emotionally. And when I'm physically a mess, when I'm emotionally exhausted, but I still want to create because it makes me happy. This is the perfect tired crafting thing to do, where you take just paper scraps, just, those papers that you don't know what to do with, and you're not going to throw them out because someday I'll use them for something, and you glue them in a collage on these telephone book pages, and look at all of these cool backgrounds I have for either junk journal pages or backgrounds for mixed media projects or greeting cards or tags or ATC cards, artist training cards. This one actually, I started to get more bold, and this one has several pieces of fabric embedded into that one. And what I'll do is I come into my craft room, I put a Netflix series on, or I put on some really good soothing music. I get a cup of tea or a glass of wine, whatever I'm into for that night. And in this Harlequin novel book that you may have some of these lying around, same thing. I'm just starting to glue down extras from pieces of paper from projects that I've used. I don't want to throw them out, but I don't know what to do with them. And I'm making pretty collages out of them. I really love this one. I really love this one. I don't know. It came up. I love it. Could it fit the cover of my book? I'm stopping there because I just think I love the colors. Oh gosh, you guys, this camera thing is going to get me. There's a book page with a piece of speckled, sparkly tissue paper over it. This is just paper strips that I had on hand. Obviously, they were strips because I glued them down as strips. But this could make a really pretty cover. Yes. Okay. And I told you that I'm going to hide these. I'm going to hide these strings on the inside. A hidden binding. I'm going to cover that binding up so you can't see the strings. So that will get covered. But let me find one for the front, one for the back. Kind of like that one. I don't need them to match perfectly. I really love collage. I love like meshing together different textures and fabrics with paper. And like, I think this is, oh, that's tea dyed paper or coffee stained paper, but sometimes I'll use a coffee filter or a tea, the bag from a tea. If you ever open your tea bags after you're done drinking tea and just let them like empty out all the leaves and then let it dry out, sometimes you get some really cool colors on those tea bags. I love combining things like that into a book. Now, where was that page? I really did like that one. It's kind of soft and pretty. Oh, I lost it. Let's flip, girls. Where did it go? This was the one. Soft and pretty. Soft and pretty. Though that one can be the front, one can be the back. And then what I'm going to do, well, I won't even show you yet. Let's get these on the front and the back. We're not going to make this too difficult. They are a tish long. You like my words? They are a tish too long. Like I got to take off a sliver. So I'm going to go on the back side of this piece of paper. I'm going to make a pencil mark right here. I love torn edges, but, oh, this is my front. I love torn edges, but for the sake of time, again, I'm just going to cut these straight edge. Let's make sure, because I know my front and back may not be the same size. I'm just going to go straight edge just for the sake of time. So I can check comments and chat with you guys. Okay, what's Christina saying? Yesterday was Christina's birthday, so happy birthday again. I know I told you yesterday. Oh, and Christina, here's her comment that I saw her name pop up. Christina's been a member of the Craft Therapy Club for a very long time. Thank you for being a constant supporter and friend. It was her birthday yesterday, so I wished her, we did gratitude journaling in the club yesterday and wished her a happy birthday yesterday. But she's saying, because of your groups, I've gotten over it being perfect. And Christina, I'm asking for anybody who's been able to conquer that, or at least, even if you just work on it every time you create, work on the letting go of being perfect. become one of me, a recovering perfectionist. When you can adopt that way of thinking about your projects, are you creating more? Does it give you time to create more? Like, I think it does, but you tell me. I would love to hear from you, Christina, or anybody else who's adopting that way of life. Debbie said she's starting a garden journal out of a cardboard box. Get it, Debbie. Go, girl. I love it. All right. My trusty old permanent glue stick. I think I'm going to add a little liquid glue too, because we're just trying to make a quick and dirty. It's not dirty, but you know what I mean. A quick and fun, pretty little book here. So I think I'm going to put some glue stick on. Now, do I want, oh, that's the back. I want this on the front because I love the book paper kind of peeking out there. I'm going to do a little bit of both. Little glue stick, a little liquid glue. Make sure this bad boy really stays on. Remember, it does not have to be perfect. If perfection is stealing your joy from your creative time, I would really encourage you to try to let it go. And if that's hard for you, I would really, honestly, suggest that you follow my page, get on my Telegram channel, and hang out with me a little bit when I'm live, because I will always encourage you and remind you of why we're creating. We're not creating to win awards. Most of you are not creating to sell your things anywhere. You're creating for your own joy. So make it enjoyable and let go of being perfect. Just let go. Just let it go, girls. Let it go. Like Elsa sings. Look, I have this little spot right here hanging out. Don't really have to worry about it. I think it's going to get covered with something anyway. I can't wait to show you what I'm doing on the cover of this book. All right, this is a little bit curled, like right here, it's a little bit curled. I'm not worried about it. I really love this textured. It looks like a wicker basket. It was a piece of paper from a farmhouse stack of papers that I had, but I love that wicker basket. So I want that to be prominent. I don't want it to get covered, and I'm going to cover this side. The binding side is going to get covered with fabric, I think, because I love me some fabric on my books. And I think I'm going to add some decorative stitching. New beginnings. And this book, for me, is going to help me gather in an artistic way, pretty and artistic way. It's going to help me gather up all the quotes right now that are like really striking my soul. Like, I've come across some of these motivational quotes on Instagram or Facebook or in a podcast or in a magazine. In my prayer book, there have been some verses of the Bible that I've come across that for some reason, I meant to say this to you guys, but for some reason, do you ever notice this? Like, why you could read the Bible every day, or you could read your prayer book every day, and sometimes you just read it and you're like, great, that's awesome, move on. But some days it hits you inside and you're like, why is that message just like screaming at me today? It's because it's something your soul needs to hear. It is. It's something that your soul is needing to hear for whatever reason. Did I put that on upside down? No, thankfully, I got it right. Something your soul needs to hear. So I was thinking, if I'm reading these things in my prayer book, I post a daily reflection in a group called Pray with Grace. It's from my own reflection book. And sometimes those reflections and the quote or the verse that's coming from the Bible really, really hits me like hard in the chest. And sometimes it doesn't. But the ones that hit me hard in the chest, I usually like star the page or highlight something or underline it. And then it really just gets lost in the book. So I'm going to be tearing those things out and putting them in this book. So I have a collection of all those ones that really are resonating with me in one place, whether it's a post, a song lyric, it can come from anywhere, you guys. Right? If you're hearing some of these things lately, or if you've heard something recently that kind of hit you, where did you hear it? Just like, let's just share in the comments. Where are some places that you pick those things up? Could it be something your grandchild said that just like, it just makes you stop and go, what? Like sometimes my kids say something and I'm like, holy buckets, you're just getting to me today. I want to have a place to gather all those in 2024. I'm going to start this book, and if I run out of room, I can make another one. So don't like put too much pressure on what this book has to be, but it's a suggestion for new beginnings for the new year. I already love the way that I'm going to leave this just like this because I absolutely love it. Maybe I'll put a little pocket there to gather things if I need it, but I'm going to be adding those in here. Okay. I want to cover this up, make it pretty. We have this little extra piece of paper that we don't need there. So I'm going to use some fabric. But where are you seeing some quotes, or where do you get inspiration from, or motivational or spiritual or prayerful things that hit you? Where do they come from for you? Did they come from the people around you, from the TV, from your magazines, from the books that you're reading, from your church? Where are they coming from? I'd love to hear it. That texture is so yummy. Royce, I love you so much. Girl, you're a girl after my own heart, Miss Royce. Yummy texture. I love all the phrases we come up with here. Thanks for fluffing the nest, Miss Jana. Thank you. Thank you. Do we know about this group? Can we join? Oh my gosh, that's so funny that you asked that. The timing is wild. I just closed the doors to my membership group on Saturday. I have one person who I need to get through to. I don't even remember her name, but whoever you are that emailed me on Saturday, like late on Saturday, it was like 10 p.m. The doors were closing at midnight and she could not get it to work on the computer. I'm going to help her get in, but otherwise they're closed for now. I'm doing some revamping of how to share content. Some really positive things coming, a new site for my community, both my free community, my paid community, a new site for all the workshops that I'm offering, and the full membership club off of social media. And it's taken a little bit of work. I ain't gonna lie, girls. It's a little bit of work for me. And the ladies who are helping me, I have a couple of virtual assistants who are helping me get all that stuff worked up. In fact, we're meeting right after this. But so for now, for the next few months, it's closed, but I can give you a wait list link. Let me grab that, Michelle. Thank you for asking that question. Let me see if I can't grab you the wait list link, if it's up and running, so that you guys can jump into the wait list. Okay, here we go. Here's what I'm going to have you do. On this page that I'm going to share with you in the comments, if you're interested in learning more about the club so that when it opens again, you can join, go to the link that I'm sharing with you in the comments. And in the middle of that page, it says, message us about any questions that you have, and just send me a message with your email and I will add you to the wait list. So that'll make it really easy if you want to be added. And then when it opens again, I can let you guys know. Thank you for asking, Michelle. I do appreciate you asking. So I remember to tell everybody about that. Martha says, I started a grief journal. I put quilted pics, so pictures, live, encouragement, surviving quotes. It's not about sadness. It's moving through for me. Martha, I love that you shared that. It's so precious. Thank you for sharing that. These books can be such a great way to process your thoughts and feelings and your life. But it doesn't have to be just in a radial notebook like I started telling you about. I have that lined piece of paper that I had sit close to me on my desk, and I started writing down these things that were striking me. And I was thinking recently, like, I really need to make a pretty book to put these in because it would be more meaningful to me. And then the new beginnings, this event was coming up and I thought, this is perfect. I'm going to make a new book, a new beginning for my inspirational quotes, rather than putting them in a ratty old notebook or just saving them to my phone and never looking at them again. I'm going to put them, a collection of them, in a pretty book that I can have handy here in my craft room or in my bedroom to look at on a regular basis. All right, so let's see what other comments are coming in. Oh, thanks, Maureen. I don't know if the hearts are going to work because I'm using StreamYard, but thank you, Miss Maureen. Thank you. I'm happy to hear that. It makes us keep wanting to go on and keep sharing when you guys tell us things like that. So thank you for sharing that. Carol says, I'm having fun watching this morning. That's the whole idea, girlfriend. That is the whole idea. Okay, which paper should I, which fabric should I go with? Not paper. Let me get this big and you can help me decide. This is blue with like some, they're all different size polka dots on it, but I have enough of that. And I have this one that's kind of teal with polka dots. Wait. Can you tell I like polka dots? What is with it? Polka dots today. I was putting the sweater on and thinking, I love this sweater so much. I need to find more polka dot shirts. And then it was not even conscious in my mind, but I picked two polka dot fabrics to choose from. I'm going to cover this part of the book, just like this part that hasn't gotten covered yet. I'm Louise, I think the devil's trying to get to us, girls. Hold on, I got to change my screen and hope I can get back in the tape. Can you guys see my table? Let's just see if you can see my table. Sometimes when stuff goes awry like that, honestly, not to get too deep on you, but I do think sometimes it's the devil trying to get at us, girls. They're trying to stop our mojo. Listen, I'm talking polka dots. You cannot stop me from talking the things that I love and spreading the joy. Oh, good, Ruth. I'm glad you can see me. Oh, I don't know what happened there. I don't know what happened. What can you see on the screen? Can you see both me and my tabletop? I hope so. So I have these two polka dot fabrics to choose from. Oh, Ruth says all set. So let's pick. I'm going to show you what I'm going to put on the cover. Okay. Picture of me. Don't think that I'm vain. I'm not vain, but this is just like, this is going to go on here. And it's just me. I took this picture of me to show my girlfriend. My girlfriend gave me and we have a group of girls that get together once a month, just like a girly group, girlfriend group. And we do favorite things exchange where we each bring, it's a very like small monetary value, like a $10 thing or so. One of our favorite things. It could be a hand lotion. It could be a tea. It could be a book that you just read that you absolutely love. So if 7 of us sign up for the favorite things swap, I'll bring 6 of those things. So maybe it's like a hand lotion. I think was one of the last things that I shared. A candle. It could be anything. So my friend Sally brought us all aprons, and I took a picture of me in the apron, using it for the first time to send to my friends and say, I'm wearing Sally's favorite apron. This picture makes me happy, makes me think of good things. It makes me feel good things like inside. It's about my girlfriends. It's about the joy of, I'm really starting to enjoy it. I know I've always told you I hate cooking. I've really started enjoying not cooking, food, baking. Why is there a difference there? I don't know. I don't know. I love baking cookies and stuff for my kids and my husband and for me, wink, wink. But this just makes me happy. I'm in my kitchen doing the baking, and I have that pretty little apron on that she gave me. So that is going on the front. So I'm trying to decide which fabric to go with. You can help me decide. Oh, Felicia shared something. Hold on. There's also going to be a quote. Hold on. I'll tell you about that in a second. What did Felicia say? Yesterday, a line in a song took my breath away yet again. The darling of heaven crucified. Felicia, you're saying exactly what I was trying to express a few minutes ago. And so I appreciate you sharing that comment so much. She said it was a lyric. I love music, and I love Christian contemporary music. I love a lot of music, but I really love Christian contemporary music. And there are times where I feel more like I need that than other kinds of music. So like you, when she says it took my breath away, that's what I'm talking about. Those things that make you stop and you want to rewind it, like play that again. I need to hear that again. Or you want to reread the quote, or the verse that you just read in a book, or look at that picture. And it can be a picture. It doesn't have to be words. It can be photos. Look at a photo in a scrapbook or in a magazine or an art book that just makes you stop and just feel joy and feel all the good things. When it strikes you, there's a reason for it. And I think we should have a collection of them. And that's what this book is about that I'm making today. Linda says, I just made a pear custard pie yesterday, a little sweet. We'll adjust next time. Good for you, Linda. Enjoy your baking. Yes, so songs will do it. Songs will do it. So I'm going to do this photo on this background. I just picked this background because I love it. And I am going to put a quote on here. I chose this quote for the Craft Therapy Club. Hold on, girls. Okay, in the Craft Therapy Club, we do multiple things every month. I'm live with them more than weekly now, but this month we are making the napkin girl. I told you about the girl with the napkin dress. And this was my practice page of the girl with the napkin dress. It's a napkin dress. Everything here is made from napkin. This is in my mixed media pad, but I'm going to do the one where I do with them live when we get together and we create this project together. I'm going to do it on a canvas panel because this was my practice just to see if I could make the napkin dress work. And I love it so much that I'm going to make it big that I can hang in my bedroom for myself. And this is the quote that I chose for this. It is never too late to be what you might have been. It's a George Eliot quote. And I love that quote so much. And I told the girls, now I give them a template for the mixed media girl. So if they don't want to try to hand draw this, they can trace the template. And I give them the quote, but I give them, or they get a supply list, but I also give them the quote like on its own so they can, I shrunk it down for my book cover today, but I give them the quote so that they can cut it out and paste it into or glue it into their mixed media pad or on their canvas. That's basically what a mixed media project is. Whoop, I lost my photo. Lost my photo of me, but I'm going to put this quote on here too. It's never too late to be what you might have been. So those two are going to fit on here. Teal or blue, which one should I go with? Which one? Chris says, I love your enthusiasm and how you tell us what you love. Well, thank you, friend. Thank you for the little heart emoji. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate you guys so much when you share. It really is so much more fun. You guys make it so much more enjoyable when it's not just me talking out there to a group of people I can't see or hear. So when you comment like that, it just makes my heart happy. Every month in the club, we get together on Zoom and we just have an open craft night. So I can see anybody who joins. You don't have to. It streams in the group live, but instead of just me being on screen, I got all the other girls from the club up there who want to make that kind of face-to-face connection as much as you can on a Zoom call. And we just have an open craft night where we just create and chat just like this. And it's so fun. It's not a workshop. Now, the girl with the napkin dress is a workshop that I'll teach them how to do it step by step. Open craft night is just open craft night for fun. And I always give away a door prize to those of one of the girls or two who are on the live stream on camera with me, just because it's fun to connect that way. And it's so much more fun when you can create in a place of fellowship. You share so much joy. This is my first time watching you. Well, Joyful Artistry by Heidi. Thanks for being here. It's good to get to know you, Heidi, a little bit. Michelle, are you kidding me, Heidi? Isn't that funny how you can just find someone? Teal or blue? Teal or blue? I think teal. The teal makes me happy. If you said blue, please don't be offended. I have to just make a decision. I can't keep everything, right? You got to make a decision. This is obviously a very long piece of fabric. I only need a chunk of it. That's too short. So I need a piece. Oh, we're going to get rid of that. I need a piece that's going to cover, right? I like it to be a little ratty, but this is way too wide. So let's get the length down. I'm going to rip because I like me some torn fabric. Oh, and let me get the screen bigger so you guys can see. I am gonna rip because I like the tattered look of that more than the cut look of a piece of fabric when it's on the outside of my book. So that's gonna go there. And then I'm gonna rip up here. We're gonna rip this off. And I'm really okay when I do this to cover parts of a book, and I've made it out of an envelope that's junk mail. There's a good torn edge. So I'm going to keep that edge. It's going to cover enough to cover the envelope part. But I am really good. I just started to say, see, I don't measure anything. I just eyeball it and go with it. Okay, this is going to cover this like this. And I think I'm going to add some decorative stitching here. I won't have time for that probably with you today. But if you hang out with me, I think I'm going to put some embroidery thread or some kind of decorative ribbon or something, and I'm going to stitch it through this little piece and through the fabric eventually. I love it though when a little bit of this envelope, if it shows out to the world, I'm good with that. I'm really good with that. Okay, I've had some trouble lately with glues showing through. Okay, my 5 journals on a journey. Remember we were talking about fabric glues and making sure you get a glue that's not going to show through your fabric. I love to give you guys examples. This is what we do in the Craft Therapy Club, where I teach you about supplies and their features and benefits. Look at, see all these? That's glue. That is a glue mark. And I told you I was trying a new glue. See that right there? That's that glue mark that showed through my fabric. I do not like that. I will cover it up. I can handle it. I can handle it. But that's what I'm trying to avoid when I'm gluing fabric onto my paper. And this is the glue that did that. It was the Beacon 3-in-1. This is a new glue that I was trying to use. I thought, oh, it's a little cheaper than Fabrifix, so I'm going to try this out. It's a great glue. It works. It's stinkier than Fabrifix, I think, and I don't like that about it. But it left marks on my fabric. Now, Fabrifix, I just ordered a new bottle. This is the last bit of my last bottle. Fabrifix doesn't do that. So I'm going to stick with my Fabric Fix. I just added acetone to this yesterday. So please just work. This is such an old bottle, you guys. Ay, my goodness. 7 minutes left. Oh, thanks. Cheryl says I'm amazing. Cheryl, you're amazing, friend. Uh-oh, look. Oh, hello. Oh, glue. We got glue. Oh, Chernobyl here. What is going on? I got some glue problems. It's always me and my glue. Always. It's always something with the glue. So I just ordered a new bottle for those of you who are wondering. Okay, this will likely get covered. This little glue mess that I made right here will get covered with my photo or with the, I guess I'm using my fingers to apply glue today, girls. With my photo or with the quote. I'm going to put the quote on this book just like I did on my Girl with a Napkin. I'm going to cut it out and I'm going to do strips of the quote. All right. Listen, if you have pretty fingers and nails, don't do what I do. Don't do that with your hand in these silicone glues. It is not very good for your nails and your fingers. I tell you that as a friend. If you don't mind your fingers being all ratty like me, well, look at, I'm getting a pucker. That sounded funny. I'm getting a pucker I didn't intend. I'm gonna make it part of the design. We're just gonna pucker it in a few spots, and I think it's kind of decorative and cute, and we're gonna leave it like that. All I need to do is cover up this mess right here. Not mess, it's just I want to cover up the brown paper and put something pretty in its place. And I really want to use my Fabric Fix because I know it doesn't leave a mark on my fabric. The beacon left a mark, girls. Bad beacon. Naughty glue. But this is what it takes. Honestly, this is what it takes to figure out the supplies that work, the supplies that you like, the supplies that you don't like. I am a huge, wait, first, I know this doesn't sound like it makes sense. I'm a huge fan of using what you got. However, girls, I am a craft supply, like, fanatic. I love trying new craft supplies. I'm going to purposefully really ruche this up. I wish I'd done more of that on the other side. This is the back side, but I like the way that looks because I love texture and this is fabric and I want it to show as fabric. And so I'm kind of liking that. Oh, I have this I could work with. I could ruche that up a little bit. I like the fabric to show that it's fabric. But in the Craft Therapy Club, I'm all about, or even here on the public page, I just do it more with the club members. They just see me more. They get more of me. They're paying to be members of the group. So there's all kinds of door prizes and monthly challenges and swaps. And we play bingo for prizes. It's just like a whole lot of fun in there. So I often share with them, oh my gosh, this is going to be cute, the supplies that I've purchased and how they work, where they work well, where they don't work well, things you should avoid, things you should try to go for, so that they can make decisions on their own about how to use their supplies. So I don't want this as one big quote. I want it like I did it on the cover of that other, or on that other mixed media project, The Girl with the Napkin. I want them all cut into their own strips, and I'm good with them being wonky because I like things a little wonky. It takes the pressure from being perfect. That's really good for a recovering perfectionist to have wonky, purposeful wonkiness. If that could be a thing, it's what I do here. So I'm going to put me, and then I think what I'm going to do is put these we got to figure out how. Yeah, maybe I'll just put it over my chest a little bit. I think it'll all fit it's never too late to be. I have an easier time picking it up with the tweezers. That'll fit, girls, if I do it something like that. Or something like that. Or, or I got to run through all the scenarios before I decide. It's never too late to be what you might have been. What if I put me in the lower right, and then I put that coming down this, cascading down the right? Christina's putting away groceries. Get it, girl? Now you're all stocked up. Oh, yeah. Battling adhesive, part of the creative process. Anybody else struggle with your glues? Now, if I cut a piece of me off, if I go like that, I would have more room for my quote. I didn't mean to like fold myself, but let's stick with our wonkiness here. That's what we're going to do. I also I'm starting to think maybe I want something behind me. When I say something behind me, let me give you an idea. Like just something to anchor the photo. Scrap of, this is in my bits and bobs basket. If I had a scrap piece of paper, or not paper, fabric to glue me down on, I think I like that more because it kind of anchors the photo, it frames it out. So girls, I've got a couple minutes left to be with you. So I want to just kind of give you a couple of notes. This event is going on throughout today. There are some amazing creatives sharing their own New Beginnings project, whatever their interpretation of New Beginnings is. So you're likely to see like a really eclectic collection of things being shared and created today. It won't rip that way. Hold on, we're going to try again. So next up on this journey today of New Beginnings is Lindy from Taterbuggin. I'm going to give you her link in the comments here. Just give me a second. And then if you go and hang out with her on her page at the end of, toward the end of her video, someone will be sharing the next creative after her, that lineup, so that you can literally page hop from page to page. So here, I'm going to drop Lindy's Facebook page link here so you can page hop over to her. I want to say thank you for being part of my journey, making this little journal for myself. I will likely be putting things into this journal and sharing that here on Facebook and on YouTube. So in little videos, either in reels, or maybe I'll go live and share something that really struck me and hit me that I want to put in this book, so that you guys can see me actually using this book, this collection of quotes and inspirations that are meaningful to me. So if you want to be part of that, please be sure to follow the page, follow and like the page, like this video, get on my Telegram. I would really appreciate it. Here is Lindy's, I'm going to drop it right now. There is Lindy's link. There's Lindy's link right there. So hop on over to her page and go hang out with her. I'm sure she has something great for you guys. Thank you for being here. Have a blessed day, everybody.